thank you everybody for coming out. Thank you so much. It's going to be a hard road ahead of us, but I know we can do it. Everywhere we go, everyone says one thing: we need to unite the city. That's what everybody says. It's been done before. It's been done before. In the 1960s, Bayard Rustin united this city. It wasn't on housing, but he was fighting to desegregate public schools. He organized the largest mass demonstration for civil rights in the 1960s. It's been done before here in New York City, and I know we can do it again. What we're up against is a mayor who's been able who's been a very good con man. We have a con man for a mayor. He's made everybody believe that he's a progressive, and he's not. He's anything but. And we already knew what kind of a mayor he was going to be, because before he even got sworn into office, what did he do? He hired Bill Bratton as his police commissioner. What kind of a mayor does that if he's going to fight for social and racial justice? Right. He lied to everybody. He used everybody and he lied to everybody. He's also been cheating everybody. He's been cheating people of a decent future. He's been cheating you of decent housing. You have no civil rights in this city. And we're now coming together because what we're fighting now is for economic justice. Under RAD, the program that we all want to fight to defeat, everyone's been saying that there are problems with evictions. In Ocean Bay, 7% of all the tenants in Ocean Bay were evicted in 1 year. 1 year. Those are households. Those are households. In NYC, there are about 3 to 4 people per household in a public housing apartment. We did a calculation. Based on the 62,000 apartments that the mayor wants to convert into RAD, that means about 4,000 apartments, 4,000 households are going to be evicted if we go by the eviction rate set in Ocean Bay. That's somewhere between 15 and maybe 20,000 people are going to be evicted. Where are people going to go? They're going to go onto the streets. They're going to go into homeless shelters. I lost my apartment last year. I now rent a room from a family, thank God. But I live in a basement. I don't have a kitchen. I don't have a kitchen. I have a cat and we live in one room. It's pretty bad. I'm scared of what's going to happen to people. We should all be scared because this is our future. They're pricing us all out of this city. There's money for police officers, there's money for luxury condominiums. It's now time for there to be money for the people. It's money for the people. That's the time we're in now. Before we're done, we're going to tell the truth and we're going to expose this mayor. And then we're gonna claim what's ours, which is we're gonna take it all back. We're gonna fight for our own future, and we're gonna fight for our power, because we're not gonna let ourselves be put in this position again. You go into housing court. You know what I call a housing court? I call it a black hole, because the minute you cross the event horizon, you're gone. They lie to you. They say that you have a right to counsel. That's bullshit. Bullshit. Right. There's a lot of stuff in this house, in this city that's not fair. And we're coming together, and eventually we're going to link up and we're going to unite this entire city, because you know what? There is a trail of victims all over this city that this system has created. We just have to find all the other victims, and I promise you we're going to build an army of people. We're going to take back this city. Thank you so much. One moment.
We got to unite the people. And our next speaker is Anthony Beckford. Anthony is a housing activist, community rights organizer. Take it away.
And he's a candidate for city council.
Y'all can hear me, right?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna
try not to preach to y'all today. But somebody need to be preached to, especially in this local government we have. What I find so funny is the NYPD gets $5.1 billion a year. And their main job is violence that is sanctioned by local government, state government, and federal government against black and brown people. Yep. Then what I find so weird is that they can't fund NYCHA where majority of people there are black, brown, and poor. But yet, when you go inside NYCHA, you see an army of officers in there with a $5.1 billion budget. What I also find so funny is that for 4 new jails, or as they call them, boutique jails, it's going to cost $11 billion. So you're looking at $5.1 billion for officers, $11 billion for jails, but yet not a damn cent for people to live in a safe, clean environment. But see, that's not it. That's just not it. Because what we also see is elected officials, like the mayor, Bill de Blasio, but I'm also going to talk on Corey Johnson as well, because he himself thinks that he has impunity from this issue.
Because he dances.
Exactly. But see, I know juking and jiving when I see juking and jiving. And Corey Johnson and Mayor de Blasio are one and the same. There are a mafia of elected officials that are aiming and targeting our communities. Each of our communities may have 1, 2, 3, or 4 NYCHA developments in it, but that is still our community. Our NYCHA residents do not get proper sanitation. They do not get proper lead cleaning. They do not get proper utilities. Sorry, so I'm gonna try not to preach today. It's getting to me. It's getting to me. It's getting to me. When I have mothers telling me that they can't live in their own home because they're scared of their children being poisoned by the lead in the walls. When I hear mothers say that they're scared to go to sleep because they can hear the rats scurrying in the walls. They see the rats going through their children's bedrooms. Right. When I hear mothers tell me that they can't even take their children into school safely because they have to hop over trash.
That's right.
There's a problem.
That's right.
And the problem is not us. The problem is them.
That's right.
When we live in a city that says it's progressive, but it does nothing different than the Trump administration, there's a problem. Do not talk to the orange man unless you're going to be different from the orange man. He don't give a damn about us. They don't give a damn about us. But we must give a damn about each other. We must come together. It doesn't matter if you're living in NYCHA or down the block from NYCHA. That is your community. That is your neighbor. You are to unite with your neighbor. You are to fight for your community. You are to say enough is enough. Displacements are at a record rate. Displacements are at a record rate. And that is caused by de Blasio and Corey, the pro-gentrification loving Johnson. When you are in the pockets of revenue, which the real estate board of New York, when you're out there getting support from the worst landlords in this city, that is a problem. And they need to be called out on it. Now you see, people tell me, yeah, you're going to be running for office, you need to be quiet down, you need to play the game like them. I say fuck the game. Because at this time and point in our lives, it's not only us who we have to fight for, but we have to fight for our children. That seems to be the messaging that is missing when we talk to these people. We are going through what we're going through, but our children should not have to follow in those footsteps. The same way we fight for education, we fight for housing. The same way we fight against police brutality, we fight for housing. The same way we fight to make sure we have true progressives, we have to fight for housing. Because it's all the same fight, and it's targeting all of us. So make sure that you stand together. So like the brother said earlier, when I say fun, you say NYCHA. Fun! NYCHA! Fun! NYCHA! Fun! NYCHA! Fun! NYCHA!